In this video, I'm going to be going over a bunch of different items and creatures that were going to be added to Ark at some point, but ended up getting scrapped or something ended up happening with them. And so now they're no longer in the game that we do know about. First off is the Tech Wyvern saddle. When they were adding the Tech tier, they were going to add a Tech saddle for the Wyvern. As you can see what it looks like here in the dev kit, because it was in the dev kit for a little bit and you could like mess around and put it on there, but it wasn't completely finished yet. But I think this thing looked really cool, and I'm not sure why they didn't add it. One thing I think is that because usually Tech saddles shoot lasers, it wouldn't really make much sense because Wyverns already have a breath attack. So if they had a breath attack and lasers, I feel like you'd just use the breath attack over the lasers that it shoots, which is why I think that they probably didn't add the Tech Wyvern saddle, but I think it looks really cool on it. Next is there was a ton of creatures that were actually had like a bunch of concept art that were going to be added at some point, but ended up getting scrapped. And we know this because one of the art designers basically showed off all of the designs that he'd made for Ark, including all the creatures that are currently in the game, but also a bunch of them that didn't end up getting added. Some of these are just random dinosaurs that didn't end up added. Some of them are kind of interesting, like the Gorgonops right here. This one is one that's been in the mob votes or the creature vote, not the mob vote. This is in Minecraft. But the creature votes, it's been in there multiple times, I noticed. But originally, before those mob votes, it was going to be added to the game. There's also the Acro, which is one people have been wanting for a long time, and is also in the Ark Editions mod as well. They were also going to add that. Apparently, a long time ago, they had the concept art for it. Then there's this weird creature here that looks like a weird alien. I have no idea how this could be implemented into the game. And then there was also the Hive. We know this creature because it was in the dev kit, and they actually had a model, but it wasn't like textured or anything. As you can see, it looks like here. I imagine it was this bug, and it would spawn these smaller bugs as you came up to it. And I think it might have been a Scorched Earth exclusive. I'm not entirely sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But I've heard that it might have been a Scorched Earth exclusive if it was going to get added. I made an entire video on all of those creatures about a year ago now. If you want to watch it, there's a link in the description. And then next is the X-Dragon, which you used to be able to spawn it in on Genesis Part 1, but you can't anymore. I tried spawning it in, and it wouldn't let me do it anymore. And I don't have any footage for it, so I have to use screenshots. But basically, this was going to be one of the bosses in the Genesis Part 1 missions that you'd fight, but instead it wasn't. But you can still, at least you could spawn it in the game and mess around with it, but now you can't. At least maybe there is a way, but I couldn't figure it out. And then we have another Genesis Part 1 one. This one you can actually spawn in these creatures, but they weren't added. It is the VR Deon and Yudi. As you can see, they look really weird, and that's because they weren't finished. They were supposed to look like this, which is what the VR Rex looks like, along with the other creatures in the Corrupted Master Controller boss fight. This was going to be another minion in there, but of course they didn't get added. But they were still in the game for some reason, so they have the version of them with unfinished textures that you can spawn in. And this last one is definitely an interesting one. So basically in Genesis Part 2 there was going to be a new structure type added, which we hadn't had a new structure type added since Scorched Earth. But it was basically, and like other like structures, it was going to like regenerate when you destroyed it. So if you broke it, it would just build itself back, and if you damaged it, of course, it would repair itself. The screenshots and stuff you're seeing here, it was made by a mod by Kodako Alex. And I think he was trying to replicate kind of what they were going to be like, but he was also putting it in his own mod. So that's not exactly what they would have looked like if they were in the game. It's kind of just like showing what it could have been like, but they would have like regrown and stuff. It's definitely an interesting one, but apparently the reason it didn't get added is, I guess they were having trouble with that, but also because it takes a lot of storage to take structures, and it would have made the game take up a lot more storage if they added more structures, so they just decided not to add those. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Also, make sure to comment which of these creatures you think they should have added, because a lot of them were pretty cool, and I'd like to see what you guys think about them. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and bye.